Did it go live?
It's time!
Welcome to Just Mitchin. I'm the one, the only Mitch Mitchie here on Just Mitchin. All by myself. No Abe, no Keenan. Just chilling like a villain. I've had a pretty busy last couple of days with the hobby and everything on Twitter. If you don't follow me at Just Mitchin or at Mitchie4, you won't know what's going on, so I have to tell you. So there's a veteran out there. His name's Ryan. He's a very good dude. He has had some extremely bad luck. Just like how we all have with COVID and everything, losing his job. Good guy. He's out there hustling, trying to make money. Didn't have hours for work. Car breaks down. So originally I was just going to sell some stuff for like $80. Wasn't hitting with anybody at all. So I was like, F this. I'm going big or go home. If you know your boy, that's how I roll. So I went, and if you notice behind me, I don't have my Greg Kreinler set anymore. I auctioned that off with, I didn't auction it. I razzed it off with 11 other items. We were able to raise around $500. Went to Ryan, helping him out completely. He needs it, just like we all do. But whenever I see a vet in need, I'm like guaranteed to try to help them out, especially if they're a good dude who's helped me out in the past. And then Raccoon Alliance Breaks. You can check them out at I think it's Manpaw. It's right here on my water bottle. Manpaw Alliance.com or on Twitter at Breaks Raccoon. So that's their logo. I love it. Put them on. They hit this. They're on the water bottle. Blake's on the water bottle. Wounded Warrior Project's on the water bottle. There's one more space for one more sticker if you want to send me one. They did like an auction over. It was like or $1,200 worth of stuff, like Connor McDavid rookie auto in there, just some mind-blowing things. I think that sold for around $675, $700. Should have gone for more, but we're in the tough times. But that was really awesome of that. So Ryan's hopefully set. He says he's set. I hope everything goes well for him. But other than that, today we held the Raz. That's the first time I ever did one. It was fun. I had a little bumps in the road at the end, but it is what it is. You can check out the Raz on Twitch because that's where we streamed it. Just because I don't know, it's a little bit easier to do that. I mean, I can set my YouTube up with my OBS, but I'm lazy. And then let's see, anything else big this week that's happened? That's not sports news or hobby stuff I'm gonna talk about. No, I mean it's just been a good week. I got this toque. I really like it. It's beanie, French words toque, from everythinghockey.com. Yeah, I think it's everything hockey. ehclothing.com is where you can find it. They had a deal. It's like $6 for this and a mask, which was, I think I actually, believe it or not, because I went for a walk today, have the mask on me. The mask is dope. It doesn't, I have a really big face, so like it's cool. I like it. I'll rock it. And then I really like the toque. I was a little disappointed I had an eBay purchase. Got an LA Kings hat. I'm pretty sure it's fake. It fits all right. I was wearing it yesterday. It is what it is. Bought in some breaks. We'll talk about that and talk about my favorite breakers and who I enjoy breaking with and why. But before we get into anything else, let me tweet out that I'm live. On YouTube. Actually, I'm going to back out. Boom. Share it off YouTube so they can just click the link. It's weird when you're rocking by yourself. You have no one to talk to, so you're just flowing. Not flowing, or just doing your own thing, really. Twitter. Boom. So anyways, getting into some sports, but first we got to hit the hobby hero who I picked. Sorry, last week was a weird week. We skipped Tuesday's episode, and then we dropped Reed Wilkins, his interview. Guys, let me know what kind of interviews you want to listen to. That will help me who I schedule. I don't have one there. We were supposed to have one yesterday. I got no-showed. Then we're supposed to have one next week. Still haven't found someone, so I'm kind of sitting there. Maybe just do the 2 shows like normal. I don't know. But the week of Thanksgiving, we have one of the Bar Down Beauties, which will be really fun. And then I don't know. After that, I've messaged most people, just not get it back. We are then talking about Hobby Hero, brought to you by. Oh, I actually have something in my dugout mug still. Dugout mugs. If you love dugout mug, if you love baseball as much as I do, dude, you can drink out of a bat. It's pretty dope. That's kombucha. G-Man Choi. Learn to pound kombucha like that. Not kombucha, but I definitely pounded a little bit better than G-Man. G-Man, if you saw his video, he pounded out of one and he kind of struggled. And I had the ability to pound things really quick. But our hobby hero is Bass Yankin. He does a lot of good for people. Really nice guy, always promoting things, always involved in the hobby. So he's got a bunch of recommendations. People have been saying he's a great dude. I've had a few interactions with them. They were all positive. So we picked him. We're down to, what are we at? Week 8? They're going to pick week 8. Hey, guys, I need some help. I have nobody has requested someone, nominated someone this week. For week 7. We still got 5 weeks left. I need y'all help. I need now. But anyways, we're going to go talk to some football. Yes. I'm gonna just kind of go with what I watch. I watch a lot of college this weekend, a lot of NFL, like always. I'm a big Notre Dame fan. I don't know if I've talked about my love for Notre Dame and everything. Go away, spam risk on my phone. I don't want to answer that. That was a great game. If you're a Notre Dame fan at all, that was an epic game, a fun game to watch. Especially with Notre Dame scoring on, what was it, the second play of the game with that run. That was amazing. I jumped out of my seat. Ian Book looked pretty good. I have not been the biggest Ian Book fan for his career. Notre Dame quarterbacks, just I haven't fallen in love with one really. I mean, if I can name, like, Tommy Reese used to drive me nuts. I like Notre Dame's weapons. They always have speed, threat, and guys that can play all over and don't have and just have that shock factor, especially at the tight end position. They've had some good tight ends in the recent years. I'm pulling up the game log because I can't remember everything. Yeah, Book looked good. He was 22 of 39, 310 yards, 1 touchdown. Williams had 23 carries, 140 yards with 3 touchdowns, beating them in double overtime. I mean, Notre Dame got put at number 2. We'll talk rankings in a minute. I think if you beat the number 1 team, you should jump into the number 1 spot. Especially, people are going to say, oh, no Trevor. They didn't have Trevor Lawrence or any of that stuff. DJ Ugalalegi, or what? Sorry. Threw for 439 yards and 2 touchdowns. Threw for 439 yards. I'm sorry. Like, I don't feel like you still beat a guy who had an amazing game. I don't know if Trevor Lawrence was going to throw for that much. So it's kind of that thing where Notre Dame won. They should be number 1. This was the biggest win of the season for them, and they play Boston College this week. Then I can look real quick. I had it in my head. It's Boston College. Then it goes to ding 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 ding. I have it right here. North Carolina. I think the Boston College game will be tough just because Boston College tends to play Notre Dame pretty tough. North Carolina, I think, could be a one that we'd watch on an upset, and then Syracuse and Wake Forest. I think they might run right through those 2 teams, but hey, Syracuse upset Clemson last year. You never know when a team's going to take an L, and I hope this Notre Dame team doesn't, because they'll be in the playoff if they run the board, especially knocking out the number 1 team in the nation. But then again, you're going to still have those are saying they didn't beat Trevor Lawrence. Well, we'll see them in the ACC championship because they don't have divisions. They take 1 and 2, and I would love to route them again. I'd love to watch that game again because that game was a badass. That game was close. That game was hard fought. Definitely thought those two teams came to play. And then anyways, let's talk about the end of the game. The student body rushed the field. People were pissed about it. I don't give a fuck. Notre Dame hasn't beat a number one team since 1993. Most of those kids haven't even been born yet. I was one. That's how long it's been since they beat a number one team. Notre Dame for the past probably 2 decades has gotten this rep that they can't beat a big-time powerhouse, that whenever they face the Alabamas, the Clemsons, the USC, well, they've beat USC, but not USC out of this power, but the Clemsons, the Alabamas, the Ohio States of the world, whenever they have to play them, it seems like they choke, which is reality. They do. They shit the bed every time. I think that's over with. I think this Notre Dame team, which is fun with 2020, I don't know. I'm looking at a national championship, and it'll be even cooler because they'll go back to being an independent next year, and they can be in a conference for one time in their entire history of being a football team and win the conference. How awesome is that? Dominance. One time they're in a conference, they win, so why be in a conference, right? If you're just going to win it every time. But the student body, they're saying people are going to get in a bunch of trouble for this. There's going to be sanctions. Every student has to take a test. If they don't, they won't be able to register for their classes for spring term on time. All that kind of stuff. People were upset that it didn't even happen. Like I said, it was a big game. It was a big win at home. I would have rushed the field. It happens. 6 people, I think they've had 6 new positive tests since then for COVID. I don't think it's as big as the deal as people made it to be. You have to be at least, I think, pass the temperature to get into the stadium, and it's all student body, so they do a health check anyways. It's not like it's people from New York traveling to South Bend to watch a football game. Like it's still very much condensed and kept together. So I don't have hard feelings for it. I'm not mad that it happened. I was super excited, but then I did have that, oh shit, here comes the bitch fest all of a sudden, because people aren't going to be happy with this. But that's just kind of how the world is these days. So going on to the college football playoff path, I want to look at some of these rankings. What teams do we think are going to get there? Definitely, I think Alabama is going to run through the SEC. Georgia's not looking as good this year. LSU's not looking great this year. I don't really see a team in the SEC that's going to get in their way. I mean, they beat Texas A&M 52-24, which was an absolute blowout. I think their back of their schedule is very weak, and I think some of their problems is if they miss any games due to COVID, they have a game postponed this week for LSU. I haven't looked if that will be made up or not, but it's kind of like one of those things. Is it going to happen, or like? I mean, that's a game. Even though LSU isn't LSU of last year, it's SEC. They could still knock off Bama, and I'd like to see that game played. Notre Dame's number 2 in the nation right now. I definitely think they should be number 1. They had the biggest win in the country. They knocked off the number 1 team. I think they're going to play the Clemson again in the ACC title game. If I think they go through undefeated, no problem that they'll be in the playoff. They should be the number 1 seed. But if they get blown up in that ACC game, if they take a blowout loss to Clemson or whoever is the ACC champion, I could see Notre Dame getting knocked out of the playoff and saying no, which I don't think is going to happen. I think they could beat Clemson again. It will be interesting seeing them go up against Trevor Lawrence. That kid is phenomenal. I can't wait to see where he goes in the NFL, if he's a Jet or not. We'll talk about that later on in the year when, well, that's a big talk about the draft and everything. Ohio State's number 3. I don't really know. You have to have a Big Ten team in there. Ohio State's the best of the Big Ten teams. I was excited for Wisconsin for the schedule they were going to have, but now that they're missing games, that's kind of rough for me. They're saying Clemson's number 4. I think if they beat Notre Dame, yeah, but if they don't, there's no room for them. If they don't win the ACC, they don't belong. I think there should be 4 undefeated teams or 4 conference winners. Yeah, like Texas A&M 5, Florida 6. Like if you're not a conference winner, I don't want to see. I don't want to see you in this year's playoff just because you're only playing your conference and you're not playing outside of it. Cincinnati 7. They're a fine team. They're not exciting. This BYU team I'm looking at is exciting. I watched a few of their games because I'm a West Coast guy. I catch them as a 7:00 game. Their strength of schedule, it's like it's 101st, so it's not great. But they beat Boise State, who is the ranked team. They're a good team. And then I think Oregon can. Oh, it's going to be tough for Oregon to slide into that, just being in Pac-12, starting so late. Like, again, this college football community is going to be weird. They have Wisconsin 10, Oklahoma State 11, USC 12. I think for a Pac-12 team to get in there is going to be rough. Just because they're starting late, their conference isn't great. I don't think the Pac-12 is a good conference at all. I think if we're talking about the Power Fives, it's number 5, SEC, Big 10, ACC, Big 12, Pac-12. And I almost can say we could say the Pac-12 isn't a Power 5 anymore, in my opinion, just because USC hasn't been that great of lately, and Oregon can't win a big game to save their life. Does that conference produce plenty of NFL talent? Yes, but they're not winning national championships or winning big bowl games since last year. I mean, Oregon did beat Wisconsin in the Rose Bowl, but Oregon sent that to Wisconsin twice. Moving over to the NFL. The NFL owners have approved a new playoff. Just for this year, it looks like it's going to be a 16-team expanded playoff, so 8 and 8 from 14. How I want to look at the what it says this season. If future games are lost because of the coronavirus pandemic, if that happens, there will not be a reseeding for the playoffs. The vote was unanimous. All right, so I'll have to see what they decide on how that playoff is going to look. So does the number 1 and 2 team get a bye? How are they going to structure that all out? I could look it up right now, but I wanted to, while I'm on this article that I was looking at, and then incentive to reward teams with draft pick compensation, 2 third-round picks if they develop coaches and executives of color. It's good for the NFL. I don't think the NFL has an issue with that. There's plenty of coaches with color. There's plenty of head coaches. We're seeing more executives who are of color, Black, Hispanic, from all different kinds of races. I think the NFL is probably one of the most diverse leagues with having coaches as well as the NBA. I don't think we have a league that really has a problem with that besides hockey, but hockey doesn't have too many people that aren't. I don't know how to word that one, that aren't of color. I mean, you don't see a lot of Black people playing hockey, is what I'm saying. They play like basketball is one thing. I'm trying to like word this where I don't get myself in trouble, which I'm never good at. I think this is a good thing for the NFL, but I also think that we don't have that big of a problem in sports. In some parts of the world, some other parts of this country, maybe that could be debated. I'm not getting into it. But I think the NFL does very well. I think the NBA does well. I think Major League Baseball does it well. And I think it's a good thing for him. But I want to see what this NFL. I'm going to put it new. Oh, shoot.
It's
I'm going to take
time!
this off my buttons because I forgot I'm going to type stuff. What a joke. What a joke. Way to mess up. I messed up. No, that's the wrong one. Now I'm pressing buttons I don't need to be pressing. What was I doing? Oh, yeah, new playoff. New NFL playoff format. So what is it looking like? How many teams? Blah blah blah. Expanded playoffs. So is it bigger than normal? How many teams? What else to know? All right. Yeah. Was it already changed? If I was adjusted as play fire since 2002. When is this article? Oh, they already switched. Yeah, they did. They added 14. I forgot. I'm not confusing the hell out of myself. No, so this is what it always has been. Ravens have a first round bye. Chiefs, Patriots Chiefs would have played the Steelers. Didn't we used to have two teams that would get a first round bye? Yeah. And then you'd have the Patriot. Yeah. So now does it just the Chiefs will play the Steelers? And then the Patriots play the Titans and Texas play Bills. So with that 8 team, 2, I'm guessing 1 and 2 get a bye, and then 3 plays 8, 4 will play 7, 5 will play 6. That's my guess how it would go. I don't like this at all. I think I like the old format, but I get why we're adding more people into the playoffs and expanding them because it's all about this. Because the NFL, why they went unanimous with it, my opinion was because hopefully by January, which I think will happen, we'll have close, if not full, probably 75% to 50% capacity in stadiums. It's time to move on. It's time to just get past this corona. You're gonna get it. If you don't get it, we gotta start living our lives. If not, it's a mess. I think we just need to keep moving on and doing our thing. And I feel bad for whoever catches it. If it hurt, if they get sick from it, that's a bummer. I don't want to sound like an asshole about it, but I will, because that's just how I am. But going into NFL games, of course, I watched that Packers game. How could I miss that Packers game? Green Bay killed the Niners. And I mean, that Niners team was beat up and didn't look great. True, of course. 34-17. San Francisco scored 14 points in the fourth, kind of when the game was pretty much over. Aaron Rodgers is a bad man. 305 yards for 4 TDs. It's not his. And Devontae Adams, dude, Devontae Adams is something else. He's got, 8 touchdowns this year. He had another huge game, 10 receptions, 173 yards. I have him and Aaron in fantasy. If they keep playing like this, I might win the whole damn thing just because, piggybacking off each other's points. He doesn't really have anybody else to throw to. I mean, MVS is there. He can't catch the pass all the time. But he had 2 passes. He had a big one. Both of his catches were touchdowns. Tyler Irwin, the running back / receiver / punt return, he kind of does a little bit of everything, had 4 catches. Aaron Jones, who you definitely could tell his calf was still bugging him, had 5 catches. And then he had hit Robert Tanya, Darius Shepard, Mercedes Lewis, and Jace Sternberger. Throwing all over the place, Aaron is. He hits everybody. He doesn't just throw to Devontae. I think a lot of people go, oh, he's always targeting Devontae. Probably, and then he checks down to someone else. But wouldn't you? I mean, Devontae Adams is a man among boys out there. He's a beast. I used to not like him because he had some fumbling issues, couldn't catch the ball all the time. Guy looked good. Looked phenomenal. He is definitely Aaron Rodgers would get an MVP, I think, if this continues, especially with the Packers being 5-2, and possibly I think they're gonna have a 12-4 season. I think there's some teams that could trip us up. We have Indy coming up. We still have to play Tennessee. We play the Bears twice. It's not a very easy schedule down the road. Starting right now, it is. We have Jacksonville next week. Big win. I think they're going to go right through them. No problem. Jacksonville is not a good team. We'll see how the Packers run defense does against Robinson, because that kid is another beast who's all over the place. Other games this week, Falcons beat the Broncos. Bills beat the Seahawks. I was happy about this. I don't like to see chickens. I can't stand Seattle. And that's not a very popular opinion out here in the Northwest. People are like, how do you not like them? They're so good. Yeah, because their fans base a bunch of assholes. Sorry, Seattle Sports Diaries, but they are. Out here in the Northwest, people are still learning how to win. Green Bay, we've had a long history of it. We are winners. So, we know how to win. We know how to be humble about it. Not throw it in your face and all that kind of stuff. I do like Russell Wilson. He had a pretty decent game. But this Josh Allen kid, he's good, man. I'm so happy Buffalo is finally relevant. And there's going to actually be a team other than the New England Patriots that win the East, which is nuts to me in my lifetime. The thing, I never thought I'd see it. I never thought Brady would go play for a different team, especially the Buccaneers. So weird, because I think of Tampa Bay as such a terrible franchise. But Josh Allen, 415 yards, 3 total touchdowns, absolute monster game. The Titans beat the Bears 24-17 in a close-fought defensive game. The Ravens 24, Colts 10. Dang, that AFC South is a tough division with just the Colts and the Titans, the Jaguars and Houston aren't great teams, but the rest of the divisions, the other 2 teams are pretty decent. And I'm missing the team probably. Chiefs beat the Panthers 33-31. I don't understand how you let a band. I don't think the Panthers are very good. Teddy B's good, but they're a pretty sorry sack of shit. Just in, we'll talk about that when we get to baseball. That's really cool. Vikings beat the Lions. Minnesota's now starting to win games. They're on a 2-game win streak. The Giants beat Washington. I'm laughing because that's a big divisional game for those 2 teams. Because the NFC East is just dog shit. They're terrible. Texans beat the Jaguars. Raiders beat the Chargers. Steelers beat the Cowboys. I don't know how you don't blow out the Cowboys. They're so bad. And then the Dolphins beat the Cardinals. That was a fun game to watch. Kyle Murray and Tua, they're so unexpectedly good. Not unexpectedly good, but like you never know when they're gonna break a big play. I mean, Kyler Murray, he had 83 yards with 3 touchdowns, and he ran for another 100 in a touchdown. I didn't think he was going to be good in the NFL because how small he is. And this guy's a stud. The Saints blew out the Buccaneers 38-3. I turned it off at half. I was like, this is over. Tampa Bay can't get anything going, which is interesting to me because Green Bay beat the Saints, really struggled against Tampa Bay. But the Saints now, beat it. It's always interesting in the NFL how 1 week you can struggle, and then a couple weeks later you beat a team that you lost to. And the Patriots Giants, that was a fun game. It's weird to see the Patriots struggling against the Giants. Almost, if the Giants weren't the Giants and shot themselves in the foot, I think they would have gone on and won that game. But they are the Jets. I mean Jets, not Giants, and they suck. And Sam Darnold they need to move on from Sam Darnold. The guy's seeing ghost. He's going to college. He's just not that great in the NFL. And then this week, we'll get more into it. I just want to look at the Thursday night matchup because I will not be able to talk about it since it's Tuesday. We'll talk about it after Friday. I will watch this. I don't watch a lot of Thursday night games. I think they're kind of silly, but since we're getting deeper into the season, they're getting better. Colts versus Titans. Ooh, that's a game. Line is Tennessee -2 at Tennessee. Over under 48. I mean, this game could go either way. I don't know who I like. I like Tennessee. I think Tennessee could steal it if they can run the ball really well. I think Tennessee, Derrick Henry, if he can get it going, they don't have to rely on Ryan Tannehill's arm. They'll be fine. But you always have to worry about the mouth. Phillip Rivers, Mr. 10 Kids or whatever he has. He is he's aging. He's aging gracefully. I mean, he's got 10 touchdowns this year with over 2,000 yards, looking like a stud like always. Maybe this is the year he might get some lucky run with the Colts and have a Super Bowl run. I would love to see it if the Green Bay shits the bed or something. They usually do in the championship game. So it'd be really nice to see the Colts make a run. Let Philip Rivers walk out into the sunset. But that is the end of me running my mouth about the NFL. Before I talk about MLB, my chair is not a great chair. I need a better one. I know where to find one though for you. esportsfurniturestore.com. If you use the code at checkout, just Mitchin, you get 10% off your order. My forehead is itching for some reason. Get 10% off your order. Check them out. It's really, really good products. They have a bunch of stuff. I like their chairs, their desks. I need a desk too. I literally use a TV dinner tray desk. But going over to MLB, I'm going to hit it real quick. We're going to talk rewards and some free agent news. We'll start with NL Rookie of the Year was Devin Williams, a pitcher. I thought there would be some other guys that could hold on. My brain is blanking. I just am retyping something up. I forgot to put stats, and then now I can't remember them because I think at times I can remember everything, and then I forget. Now I'm embarrassed that I'm having a brain disorder, brain lapse. Special. All right. Come on. All right. Devin Williams. He had a pretty good year. He had a 1.4 WAR. No, that's Tommy Pham. Blah blah blah. First place votes. What was his stats? I'm not seeing his stats anywhere because who's second on it? Bruce Dr. Williams back in 2013. He allowed one run in just 27 innings. That's from struck out 53% of the batters he faced. I don't know a lot about this kid. I knew about him, but I don't watch a lot of Brewers baseball. He went 2 for 62 against. Wow. Batters went 2 for 62 against the pitch. Oh, versus changeup, his wicked changeup, 41 strikeouts with it. What? Yeah, and then Cornwell was the other guy, and Tony Gosselin was number 2. When they're doing the Manager of the Year awards today, Don Mattingly won, of course, for the NL. I thought that was 100% well deserved, taking the Marlins, who were an absolute name a Marlins player. Come on, somebody. I want somebody to name a Marlins player and tell me if you know. I doubt it. I can't even think of one right now. Starling Marte got traded there, but Harold Ramirez. Now I'm getting on it because it's in my brain. Brian Anderson, those kind of things are now. I went into that section there and was like, pull it out. But other than that, they got hit hard with COVID. They looked like a mess, and the team just refused to lose. I wanted them to see them make a big playoff run, but they ran into Atlanta, and Atlanta said, no, we're going to crush your dreams after they beat Chicago. This season was fun. I like a 64-game season. Not every year, but I had a lot of fun watching the Mariners. Now running over there. AL Rookie of the Year, Kyle Lewis. Absolute stud. Watching this kid this year, oh my gosh. He was fantastic. I had to get a little bit of that cheering in. I was going to hit it earlier, but I was a little slow to the button. Slow draw. I mean, there's arguments that it could have been Luis Robert or Christian Javier, Sean Murphy. Any of those guys could have been an argument. I think the closest one would have been Luis Robert. But other than that, I mean, Kyle Lewis, he just played, he was so above what the standard was set. I mean, last year he had his crazy, 6 home runs in a row or something like that. He started this season out Well, he had a huge hit. He had like a 10 game. He had 2 10-game hit streaks. I thought. I mean, him and Luis Robert had, you could say, close seasons. Oh, I thought closer seasons. I mean, Lewis hit 360 with 568 OPS plus, 7 home runs through his first 30 games. Whoa, that's nuts to think. And then he definitely hit his rookie slump, 147 with 4 home runs through his final 28. Think about that in a full picture season, because you're going to have the ups and downs of any 162 game season. Kyle Lewis is going to be good for 30 to 40 home runs. That outfield for the Mariners, especially when Kelenic gets called up and Rodriguez is called up. I don't know where they're going to put Haniger. Kyle Seager's probably on his last year deal. But then you have Dylan Moore, Evan White. That bat's going to finally – that bat's going to come together. Ty France. This Mariner team, you better keep a watch on them. And also keep a watch on those White Sox. Luis Robert is a fantastic player. Don't get me wrong. He has the speed. He has the glove. He's got the arm. There's nothing he can't do. I just definitely think Kyle was more consistent throughout the year. But then the numbers are very comparable. I think Robert might be more of a home run guy as his career goes on, just because he might be more of a strikeout home run guy. But he's got that weird presence of having the speed as well as having speed, having power, and all that stuff. My AL Cy Young predictions, I will run through real quick. I think Shane Bieber wins it. The guy was filthy. Nobody could hit him. I think he won it. He won it. Never mind. I'm getting all confused. Winner. Yeah, wait. Did he win it? No, he hasn't won it yet. I'm confusing myself. Yeah, his strikeout rate was 14.2. Bauer's my guess. Beats DeGrom and Yu Darvish are the finalists for that. AL MVP, Jose Abreu, DJ LeMahieu, or Jose Ramirez. Abreu had a great season. I don't think it down for a whole entire year it would have worked. I definitely think Mike Trout would have probably won it if the season started picking up and going. NL MVP is easy. It's Freddie Freeman. If anybody says Mookie Betts or Manny Machado, Freddie Freeman was unstoppable in the 62 game season. I think you could have a vote for Mookie Betts, but other than that, I'll shut you down pretty quick with it. I don't know stats, but I know what I saw, and he was fantastic. Let's go over to free agents. Who are the top free agents coming out this year? JT Realmuto is leaving the Phillies. He's going to be 30 on opening. His opening day age will be 30. He's looking at a 5-year, $110 million deal. Where do you think he could end up? I don't know where he could end up. I'm just looking at who we got. George Springer is going to be a free agent this year. He's going to be 31. He's looking for his projected contract, not looking for his 4 years, $108 million. But Springer is a free agent. We all know Trevor Bauer is a free agent, bouncing around all over the place. I wonder where he will land. I'm very curious. Bauer is definitely enjoying his time going all around. DJ LeMahieu is going to be a free agent. Then Bauer's 4. Marcelo Ozuna is going to be a free agent again. Will he stay out anywhere long enough? Marcus Semien will be a free agent. Marcus Stroman, I think he leaves. I don't know. I have no of these. Kevin Gassman's going to be. I don't know where anybody's going to go until I read more. I'm just letting people know who are the free agents coming up. Liam Hendricks is leaving. Could leave the A's. Nelson Cruz, I did see this. Can you imagine if he went to Tampa Bay? Just give them a little bit more power. He just gets to sit on the bench. I think Nelson Cruz is going to play till he's 46, 47. Because all he does is hit. He doesn't have to do anything else. He doesn't play in the field. He just gets to sit on his butt. Not sit on his butt. He works very hard at his craft, and he's very good at his craft. He's probably the best designated hitter out there right now. And I think him going to Tampa Bay would be a great thing for him. They need the power. They need that pop in that bat. He can be in the lineup almost every day as I don't know. I do. I'm looking at my Twitter real quick because I was buying some cards before I started the episode, and I had people asking me why I just disappeared on them. Well, I'm doing a show. Talking sports. This is the second time was a tick, and the third time. Man, so let's finish baseball. I feel like I'm rambling. I didn't see much new hockey news that I liked, and I didn't even care about the NBA. To be honest, basketball's just not my thing anymore. I'll cover it when we need to, when the season gets started and then when we get closer to the draft. I love hockey. If you guys don't know, that's what I play on stream. I'm rocking my Kings toque, or beanie, we call it in the States. I'm interested to see how they're going to do this season. I definitely think they're going to have a Canadian division and then kind of go division by like West Coast, Central, East. And then they're talking about starting them like in little bubbles and then branching out. They need to get fans in the stands as soon as possible because small teams like the Stars, Senators, Florida can't. They don't have the TV contracts. They don't have that Boston Bruins money, that New York Rangers money. They need it now. But going over to the hobby, man, I had to work my ass off for this, Rats. I'm not gonna lie. Some of it I got annoyed with, but we are in a pandemic, and asking people for money is always it's always a hard thing to do. I think it takes special people to just go into other people's DMs and ask and have the balls to do it and not worry about a no. I don't care. You can say no to me. I'm going to go on the next person. That's just my personality and how I've taken it throughout my life lately. Is the worst thing you can say is no. Okay, cool. I'll go message the next person. Like I said earlier in the show, helped out my buddy Ryan. Got him in a good enough financial position to help him till his work picks back up. I just want to say all the cool people that jumped in that Raz, people donated, people really tweeted their asses off to help us out. And I want to say thank you to every one of you. We needed the help, and you came through to help us. I talked about how Raccoon came and helped Ryan big time. I bought into 2 of their breaks. I'm so excited for these breaks. I'm going to pull them up. I bought into the Kings twice. So it's Manpaw Alliance.com, I believe. Don't ever quote me on anything because half the time I forget. Active breaks. Oh, God, I have to piss. So I bought into 121 and 122. And so 121 is Lumber Kings, SPA, and MVP, 3 boxes of each. I know a lot of you aren't hockey people, but go look at Leafs Lumber Kings for baseball. Dude, they hit big. I wish Leaf. They do it with Trinity too for football. I wish Leaf could put logos on. Their high-end products are so good, and they have to be crazy. Just like why Panini's baseball, like National Treasures, is nuts. Because the logos aren't there, so they have to pull the strings. They have to get 8 autos or have 27 autos in a booklet. They have to go big, otherwise people aren't going to buy the product. That's just the way we have to go, way those companies have to go these days. But SPS is authentic, good product. MVP is lower end. I think you can get a hobby box for like $40, but it's just to build my collection up. And then I jumped into 122. That was the first one. It's SPA Ultimate, Leaf Ultimate, which is sick. 2 boxes of those, 2 boxes of buybacks. Only reason I jumped into buybacks was I saw Phil Hughes open some earlier this year, and just the craziness. I just want to see what gets pulled. I don't even care if I don't hit anything crazy out of buybacks. I just want to see what comes out of there, what they pull. And then we'll go through their other breaks since I'm already here. Break 117, 3 boxes of ingrained artifacts, 1 box of stature, and the Oilers are random. So you have a chance for 2 teams, the team you pay for, and then you can grab the Oilers on the back end. Break 108, 3 boxes of trilogy, artifacts, MVP. They're trying to fill it. It's been reduced by $5. What teams do they have? Nothing. They have Blues, Capitals, Hurricanes, Islanders, Sabres, Jets, Flames, Predators. So if you can, go fill those up. They have them in different tiers. The Blues are in a top tier because you can, yeah. I mean, Tarasenko probably signed in it. So yeah, go check them out, and then we're gonna jump over to my favorite Raccoons, Maypole Alliance Raccoon breaks are getting up there. This is my first time breaking with them, so I'll have to let you know my experience with them and how I like it. So far, talking to them, they were very educational, really helped me understand hockey cards because they are a lot different than baseball cards. You're dealing with upper deck and not dealing with tops because I buy Panini singles. I don't really buy Panini product or break Panini product. I jump into those kind of breaks just because not having the logos and everything, but their autos are cheaper and they have some pretty cool ones. So I tend to buy them. I mean, I like their autos. I just don't always like their cards, but they're getting flashier and flashier and flashier. So definitely, we'll be jumping with them. Keenan just texted me. It's always a good one to see Keenan, what he's doing. Oh, it's a TikTok. I can't watch that right now. Let's see if he wants to get on. We have 15 minutes if he wants to come on, talk. But we're over here looking at Midwest box breaks. People are gonna say like Houdini's probably the best breaker out there. I would say Houdini's the biggest breaker. I don't like that Houdini doesn't have a site. I gotta buy his breaks on a thread. It really drives me nuts. I mean, Ben's built this huge community. His Discord is amazing. Just tell him if you want to join Ben's Discord, just tell him a little bit about you, your hobby experience, why you're in the hobby and all that stuff. He'll throw you in. Don't act like a jackass. And be polite, and it's a good one. He's got some monster breaks up here right now. We're looking at because update came out, so he's got pick your team update from $9 to $100. Well, 10 to 100. Another pick your team 10 to 100. He's got 1920 Panini clearly Don Ross basketball 2-box triple random tiered break $85 a spot. Well, 86. Topps Tribute. Then he has Topps Tribute, Topps Chrome Jumbo baseball 2-box mixer. It's not a bad one for 38. He's got a clearly Don Ross 2-box random team break for 34. Topps Luminaries Bowman Chrome Hobby 4-box random team mixer for 35. Panini XR Football 2-box random team break for $21.99. Panini Don Ross Elite for $20.99. These are all randoms. And then he's got the sale, the Jumbo Baseball 2-box random for $20. And then he has Topps Allen and Ginter and Allen and Ginter X 2-box random team mixer. Those are pretty good prices going on. I like what Ben does. I like how he's always giving back. Another favorite breaker of mine is Crack and Wax. I think all the proceeds get donated to charity. Really cool guy, Chris is. But other than that, yeah, I'm trying to think of other things in the hobby I want to talk about. Those are my favorite breakers. I'm just going through Twitter, seeing if anything pops in my head. NL City Cards. What's he got going on? See, he said he has some breaks. Let's look at these break prices. What's he breaking? If I can't find your breaks right away, I have no interest. So I'm really interested in hockey breaks right now. So he has Upper Deck Ice Hockey Hobby Box. So it's their ice, it's ice hockey, but it's ice brand. That's sold out. The Senators are sold out. Does he have a king spot? Kings are sold out. So the prices aren't terrible, but I'm not gonna if I can't get a team I want, I won't just buy a team so I can be in a break. Random divisions. Yeah, I'm really weird with how I collect cards. I don't like collecting a bunch of everything. That's why I'm not a big box opener or retail guy. Like I want to collect Kings cards, I want to collect Packer cards, and I want to collect Mariner cards. If I get anything else, like I have no interest in it. I'll sell it or give it away. I mean, I guess the selling like keeps me up and allows me to keep breaking that kind of stuff. Rip and Gypsy is another good one. If you like jumping into like Hit Parade, Gold Rush, those kind of breaks, those guys are really good for them. I don't like something that I'm not guaranteed at least something. I mean, they do have hit protection. They'll send you something if you've missed a bunch of breaks. They're good people over there. Gypsy and Smash, they really take care of their customers as well, which I appreciate. I appreciate breakers who take care of their people because I think that's what gets you fans, what gets you people going. Let's check out. I have Gypsy on here right now because I was looking at a break. I was thinking about jumping in one. So, what is Gypsy looking to try to fill? What's this say? Break schedule Thursday through Sunday. They break 9 p.m. Eastern to 6 o'clock for us. They Leaf and Metal, Pop Century. Oh, those are individual boxes. So they have a Hit Parade Baseball, one hat, random box team break for 21. Autograph full size batting helmet. That's cool. $28, 7 spots left. They've got the football break, 16 by 20s. This jersey, when I was looking at, it's $25 and you get 14 players. That's kind of dope. But once again, like something bigger like that, I really have an issue. $25 is a lot to me when I'm broke. I wouldn't be too mad if I couldn't. If like I was can't to follow me. Sorry, I'm like I said, I was buying stuff. Follow me. Boom, there we go. I will let him know to hit me up so I can buy that card. But other than that, yeah, I think that's the show for me. One thing I have to say, because this is out right now, tomorrow's Veterans Day. People, go thank a veteran. If you have a veteran that lives with you, husband, brother, sister, wife, grandpa, if he's a little off tomorrow, a little cranky, Veterans Day, yeah, it's saying thank you to us, veterans who have served, but we all have lost somebody. We've lost what we call our brothers and sisters. We lost our best friend. Some people have buried their best friend. Some people have had their best friend die in their arms. Leaders, heroes, people who have changed our lives. I've lost 2 that I can really, really like hit home. One was John Pelham. Grew up playing baseball against him my entire life. I found he got deployed. I didn't. He went active duty. I stayed guard. He died in, I want to say Afghanistan. He was shot. That hit me home. I found out right away on Facebook. And then I had a friend in the guard. We it really, that one was hard too. He was a really nice kid. Came back from his deployment, had some issues with depression, wasn't really able to get back into the normal world, spending a lot of time on the internet, not converting back over. And it's harder, I would say, for people sometimes in the guard to come back from a deployment because you have to get pushed right back into normal life. It's kind of like when you see people getting out of the army and having a little bit of issues becoming a civilian, because it's such a different life. You're so structured when you're out of the guard. When you're in the guard, like it's 1 week in a week. It's 1 week in a month, 2 weeks out of the year. So like 1 week and very structured, and the rest of it's all up to you to do your PT and all that stuff. And I think that threw him off. He ended up taking his life. And it really sucked because I talked to him 2 days before. We were at drill together. He was fine. We were just had bullshit and everything. And then I found out, actually, through my mom, she massaged his girlfriend. My mom's a massage therapist. I found out, like, 2 weeks later. Like, I talked to him. like 2 days before he took it, like drilled 2 days before, super good, he took his life, and then went on to, I found out from my mom, she's like, oh yeah, so and so's boyfriend took his life. I was like, what's his name? She told me, and I go, I know him pretty well. But yeah, and that's probably why I get upset when people talk crap about the United States of America or the U.S. flag. That's why I call it my flag. My father served, my mother served, my brother served, I served. I have great grandpas that fought in World War II. I have uncles that fought in Vietnam. I've got generations of my blood has been in war. So when people say that flag doesn't mean a lot to them or this country doesn't mean a lot to them, well, I think it's different when you've had blood spilled defending it and fighting it. I mean, my brother would say something different. His views are a little bit opposite of mine. But yeah, when you see me get a little testy about that stuff, that's why. But yeah, just thank a veteran. If they're a little testy tomorrow, just remember they've suffered a lot. They've gone through a lot. Even if you haven't been deployed, I didn't get deployed. You're still a veteran. You still did something that most people won't do. You signed up. You're not a veteran if you didn't go through basic. If you didn't get through basic and serve a little bit, you're not a veteran. But to me, if you got through basic and you served whatever years you had on your contract, you're a veteran. Even if you didn't get deployed, it happens. It depends on your MOS too sometimes, and just the situation you're in. I volunteered for them. They wouldn't give me a deployment, and then I missed them. When I got in, my unit was deployed, and when I was ETSing because I was done with Obama's army, they were getting deployed, and I was like, I'm not re-signing up for this. This is crap. And I wish I stayed because Trump's army looked great and just kept with it. I don't know. I'd probably be out of it just because, well, maybe my brain wouldn't have broke. I don't know. So woulda, coulda, shoulda. But just think a veteran. Remember they're human too. So everybody, I wish you a happy Veterans Day. Buy a vet a pizza. Buy them a coffee. Send them a gift. Do something. I will push for that. We got Christmas just around the corner. Check out Dugout Mugs. Go dugoutmugs.com/Mitchin. If you use Bad 30 right now, you get 30% off of your order. Helps us out tremendously, helps me be able to keep giving back to you guys when you help us out on that back end. But anyways, I'm out for the rest of the day. I might get back on some Twitch, play some video games. This was really fun. I like kind of being by myself, doing my own thing. I just like talking, and I like talking sports. But I'm going to hit fuck this shit, I'm out, and I'm going to get the fuck out of here. Nobody else is with me, so hit it.
Fuck this shit, I'm out. Fuck this shit, I'm out. No thanks, don't mind me. I'ma just grab my stuff and leave. Excuse me, please. Fuck this shit, I'm out. Nope. Fuck this shit, I'm out. Alright then. I don't know what the fuck just